Alrighty, so I know the title of this video is both a little bit sad and jarring. However, it is the truth nonetheless, and I'm sure most of you can probably guess the reason why. The reason why I'm not going to be making any more Pirate 101 content, and of course the reason why I'm really not going to be playing this game very much anymore in general. And that is, I really shouldn't even have to say it at this point just because of how obvious it is, especially to just longtime Pirate fans, but it is, of course, due to the fact that, well, Pirate 101 has not gotten an update, a real solid content update in quite some time. And I know it's a bit redundant to say at this point, but okay, don't tell me about the transporter. As I was saying, I know it's a little bit redundant to say at this point, but I'm quite upset about that fact. I'm quite upset that we have gotten next to nothing in terms of content in Pirate for many, many years. Now, I'm sure a lot of you might be wondering right now, like, Phantom, why are you so especially upset about the fact that Pirate 101 isn't getting or hasn't gotten any content updates for some time now? Like, why are you so upset about it right now? And the reason is because, essentially, MGI gave us false hope, right? MGI, if you guys don't know, is essentially the parent company that owns KingsIsle at this very moment. They bought out KI roughly 2 years ago. I believe it's been a little bit more than 2 years now, which is honestly crazy to think about. I remember when that happened, right, back in, I think it was January of 2021, and now it's March of 2023 now. So it has been quite a considerable amount of time since that event has taken place. I remember when we first heard about the news, right, it was really, really big. It was just all over the Wizard 101 news and all that. All of the content creators were covering it because it was really, really big. And it had spelled out new hope pretty much for both Wizard 101 and Pirate 101. And people were really excited about it. Now, although MGI never explicitly stated that Pirate 101 was going to get story updates or any sort of real kind of content update, they kind of did allude to that fact a little bit, and it had never taken place, right? And they pretty much ended up giving the entire player base of Pirate 101 a lot of false hope, right? Because essentially what they did was they just put Pirate 101's logo, right, just smack in the middle of their homepage along with the Wizard 101 and KingsIsle logos, which kind of painted the image, right, at least to me and probably to a lot of you as well, that they were at the very least going to be looking into adding stuff to Pirate. Now, I mean, whether that was actual story content or not, we never really truly knew, but it seemed like they were putting Pirate, okay, I guess I can't go through this door, but it seemed like they were putting Pirate in, pretty much the same league as Wizard 101, right? Kind of KingsIsle's main game, its main money maker, and all of that. It was kind of putting it in the same league as Wizard 101, which told me and many others, at least at the time, that essentially, they saw us, they saw us as one collective player base, right, who were both avid enjoyers of both Wiz and Pirate 101, and, essentially said, like, we know these two games have a lot of potential, we know they are important to a lot of people, and we just want to, of course, make them better while growing our own business. They essentially looped both Wiz and Pirate together under the KingsIsle umbrella, which is what I'm trying to say, which spelled out a lot of hope for, both me and all of the other pirate lovers out here, because it felt like we were finally seen. It had felt like we were finally heard, and we had a lot of hope that MGI would finally do what absolutely needed to be done and would maybe give Pirate some sort of story update. Now, I'm not just basing this on emotion alone. There is also a little bit of logistics that go into this as well. Sorry, Pirate 101 is definitely a little bit harder to walk around in than Wiz, just because of how, I don't know, smaller the worlds are, like, by comparison, if you're not counting the skyways. But anyways, that is besides the point. But there are some logistics that go into, this argument of hope as well. pretty much another one big thing that MGI had decided to do with their acquisition of KingsIsle was to carve out the mobile sector of KI, right? Just like all of the, like pretty much the whole branch of KI's department where they were working on their mobile games. They decided to get rid of all of that, which was really, really great news for us players, because we had hoped that, you know, by carving out that sector of the company, they could therefore allocate more resources towards their two games that have actually been really, really successful. You know, with Pirate, of course, being a lot less successful than Wiz, but still much more successful than their mobile games. We thought that they could allocate those resources better to their two games, essentially, that were actually good. So you really can't blame us Pirates for thinking that our game was finally going to get treated well for once, right? They were carving out, they were going to be, you know, MGI was going to be carving out the very branch of the company that led to Pirate's decline in the first place. Because if you guys don't know, the main reason why Pirate101 stopped getting updated in the first place was because KI decided to go into mobile gaming, and that obviously, you know, panned out horribly for them. It was not very, very profitable at all, but they just kept trying to pull more and more resources into it, you know, not just bad business decisions all around. And that, of course, led to the decline of Pirate and many years without a real update. So when us players, you know, heard that their mobile industry was finally getting carved out of the company, we had a lot of hope, because this was the very reason why Pirate had not gotten an update in the first place. So it's like, if we didn't have all the mobile stuff now, if that is all gone, it's like, where are those extra resources going to be pooled to? Well, maybe it was the very thing, maybe they were going to be pooled towards the very thing that they were trying to build up in the first place. Further hope was instilled in the player base when, in the summer of 2021, the very same year that MGI bought KingsIsle, there was a new quest available as well that had to do with, I know it was like Sinbad and his belt or something like that. I don't remember the specific storyline or whatever. That's not really what's important right now, but a quest was added to Pirate that pretty much hinted at some future content, like a future storyline that could be taking place in the game that had to do with Sinbad. And, you know, it was like some sort of tournament thing. I can't remember exactly. Don't really care to do the research at the moment. Point is, further hope was instilled in us as players, because not too long after KI got acquired by this huge parent company, right, we had gotten a new real quest in Pirate. It had been the first time in a really, really long time, and it actually had felt like that quest was building up to something, a lot bigger. As you can imagine, we were pretty happy about that. And we thought we were going to be getting some sort of story updates sometime soon in the next few years, but it has been almost 2 years since all of that has taken place, and we have heard absolutely nothing. And that's the reason why I'm making this video, is because I am absolutely fed up with it. Just absolutely. And honestly, I'm done. I'm pretty much done. And unless they come out with some major new story update for this game, well, this is gonna be my last Pirate101 video, because I really don't see a point. I really don't see a point anymore. I don't think this game is going anywhere at all. I would love for them to drop some sort of huge story update tomorrow that just makes this entire video obsolete. That would be great. I would love that. Honestly, I would, genuinely. Like, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I really don't think it's gonna happen. And yeah, I just wanted to express my disappointment one last time, right? It's not like we were ever promised anything, but things were looking up for a little while. But, you know, KI and MGI, well, they kind of did what they always did. I mean, KI did what they always did, but I don't really know if this is so much on them anymore, because I know that there are people at KI that are passionate about Pirate101. I think this one might honestly be on MGI at this point, because, man, it looked like for a while, it really looked like for a while, Pirate101 was finally going to get some attention. But it never truly happened, guys. It never truly did, and that really does suck, because I genuinely love this game. This is one of my most favorite games of all time. You know, I've said this in many, many previous videos before, but I think the combat system is absolutely awesome. I think this game is absolutely beautiful, and it just has so much potential that was never acted on, and it is really, really sad indeed. But yeah, I think it's about time for me to give up on it. It really, really does suck. I know I have a walkthrough. I literally, just to prove how much I enjoy this game and how passionate I am about it, right? I have a whole walkthrough on this channel that's almost a full walkthrough of Pirate101, and this is the walkthrough character, by the way. I wanted to, you know, go on him one last time because I know I'm not going to be questing him up at all, right? I know I'm not. I mean, he's got like pretty good gear and all that stuff, like Blood's jacket, you know, the Minotaur Lord's axe and all that stuff. Like, I put real work and effort into this guy. There's like 64 episodes on my channel of Pirate101, you know, summer live streams of me just questing through the game and farming and whatnot. And I mean, that's not to say it wasn't for nothing, but I just wish it could have had a better end, you know? And I really did almost finish the game on this guy. You know, I made it pretty far through Aquila, I'm pretty sure. I quested on this guy a little bit after that point when I had stopped doing the series as well. And now I'm like on the this passage quest, the passage to Ithaca. So I'm like really, I'm quite close to the end of Aquila is what I'm trying to say. But he's never gonna make it. Yep, he's never gonna make it. Just totally abandoning this guy because, well, I don't feel like keeping it up anymore. There's just really no point for me. And hey, that's not to say you guys have to stop playing, though. Absolutely not. You know, I know a lot of people really, really enjoy this game and still play it to this very day, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. But I think it is time for me to move on. And you know, this Mushu this Mushu foreground right here looks really, really fitting. I don't know why, just for this sense of longing that I have for that elusive, that ever elusive pirate update, man. But I suppose that's really all I wanted to say for this video. I think I got my thoughts and feelings out pretty effectively, just expressing my discontent one last time with Pirate101. It feels good, man. It really does. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much going to be it, though. Hope you did enjoy it nonetheless, even though this video had a little bit more of a somber tone to it. But yeah, make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video, or subscribe to the channel, right, if you haven't already. It really helps me out, and I really would appreciate it. But yeah, guys, I'll see you in the next video or stream, whenever that may be. So take care, everyone, and peace out.